right, so this edition of Who's Lucy, we're going to be looking at the most recent Whatnot purchase, brought to you by Whatnot and brought to you by Mecca Market. The Lord Zedd action figure from Bandai. And these figures were back in 1994. They originally came out with the 8 inches, which I recently reviewed of the Red Ranger. Be sure to check that out. But yeah, I mean, I was able to win this from the Mecca Market auction, and he was cool. He actually had 2 of them, and he decided to give me, the 2 that he had. So let's review this edition of the Who's Lucy, brought to you by Whatnot. All right, so the very first thing that we're going to be going over today on Who's Lucy is brought to you by Whatnot and also brought to you by Mecca Market. Be sure to check him out on Whatnot. It's a great dude, has wonderful stuff that he sells through his auctions on Whatnot. He actually gave me this little sticker as like a thank you for, paying him a lot of money for the stuff that I bought. But yeah, I like this logo that he's made. It's inspiring of the Power Rangers, just like we're going to be going over today. So the stuff that I'm going over right now is basically part of the giveaways. Funny story about the giveaway, I actually won 2 in a row, and these were all mixed together as far as like what were being done through the giveaway. But it was, he even laughed still today. We were just like talking about it the last auction that I was a part of. He was like, yeah, it's so weird that J&J Toy Giants won 2 giveaways in a row. So these were just some little knickknacks that were part of the giveaway. These pop-up, little cardboard pop-up thingies were part of a promotional stuff during the time that the Power Rangers, the movie, came out back in the mid-90s. Power Rangers was at its apex at that point in time, so they decided to make a movie. So you can see this Rita Repulsa, Mordant, which was a new character specifically for the movie. He had never ever been seen in the shows at all. But who was seen in the shows was Goldar, and then also the hyperlock chamber that Ivan Ooze was stuck in before he got set free, and of course this little miniature Red Ranger of Jason, or Rocky, whomever is your favorite Red Ranger, but also the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Bendy, the Green Ranger. So this is a cool piece. And I'm glad to have these part of my collection. Definitely going to be displaying the Green Ranger for sure. I'm not a big Bendy's guy. I've seen a lot of them come out. Like I recently with the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, they actually came out with their own line of Bendems. But who knows? Maybe one day I'll probably give a liking to them, and then at that point in time I might start a Bendy's collection. They're actually really sought after these days for collectors, especially for the WWF Bendies. They're really hard to come by nowadays, still in box or on the card. But if you happen to find like a loose one, if they're still in good condition, then it's actually a big score for you. But yeah, let's go over to the next stuff that I won from the giveaway. All right, so next up, just wanted to show this nice carded bendable figure from the Power Ranger series. So as you can see, it's still got the Walmart sticker, $2.96. If only toys were that cheap like they were back in the 90s. Because if you think of the price of living nowadays, it's so much higher than the price of living was in the 90s. So things were actually pretty affordable. If you could go back in time and buy up all the retro figures that are now considered retro now in the 90s, I mean, you'd literally have it be a rich guy, because a lot of the stuff in the 90s are so sought after today. You could probably make a lot of money doing that, but just my little 2 cents here. But got the Black Ranger. You can be either Adam or Zach, whichever you like. These are from the original team of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers before Trini, Jason, and Zach left the show. So you know what? I'm going to open this up. Kind of like a pseudo live toy unboxing, so to speak. All right. So there we are. Let's see if he can stand. Nope, he's not going to stand. All right, so obviously it's a straightforward. It's so odd that he doesn't have his insignia of the Mastodon up on there. You figure they would have that. Oh wait, no, wait. You can see it a little bit. Okay, so it's not. It is there, but it's just not that visible to the naked eye at first. But yeah, you can see it there a little bit. So Black Ranger Bendy. Probably gonna have to put this on a stand because that can't stand on its own. So usually, what you would do in situations such as this, I mean, I wouldn't want to waste a stand for that, but if you got some extra ones like this, it'll probably work. I used to use these for some of the figures that couldn't stand on their own, like my NECA Splinter. He can't stand on his own because of his tail, so I had to get one of these. Also, when I did have my LJN, my WWF LJN collection, which I've since given away via giveaway that we did, that's basically what they were standing on. But yeah, so the next thing that we got was the sticker of Alpha 5, and these other, I don't know if they were just promotional pictures from the show. They're supposedly, I think, stickers too, I'm not sure. Billy, them fighting Goldar, Jason fighting a putty, and then Trini. Yeah, so that's actually pretty cool. And we're going to get to the Pierre Le Resistance in a moment. All right, so this is going to be the review of the Lord Zedd. As I said at the beginning, I was able to get 2 of them. Mecca Market was cool and decided to give me both of them, because the reason why he gave me both is because both of them do not have the little thing that goes on his head that shows the Z on it. Because you can see right here on the picture, he has a little thing coming out of his forehead that has the letter Z. So these are actually pretty good condition for how old they are. This one specifically, the arm's pretty loose on the articulation. They don't got any, this one specifically doesn't have that much articulation up, down. Same with this one. There's no bending at the joints as far as the knee is concerned. It just, on the actual leg, just goes back and forth. Same thing for this Lord Zedd. This Lord Zedd, as far as like the looseness of the articulation, is pretty cool. I will be displaying them both. And as I said, these were from the 1994 Bandai collection when they were going down in scale. Because even though the first line that were like 8 inches were cool, they did not. They knew that a lot of kids wanted to have some like little figures, almost kind of like the scale of like a Ninja Turtle or something to that effect. So they decided to start making that line, which also became very successful as far as like, running out. Everybody's been going to these shelves, especially around Christmas time. Man, if I wish I could find a newscast or a news report of people rushing towards the aisles of trying to get these figures back in the day. I remember my dad had some horror stories himself with trying to find me just like some He-Man figures when He-Man was like really, really big in the 80s. It was mass hysteria at the toy stores back in the day. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I want to get the Lord Zedd Power Lightning collection, but I haven't been able to find him at a decent price where I'm willing to say, okay, I'll buy it. So hopefully I'll come across it one day. I have a strict rule with my Power Rangers collection. I've kind of made a rule for myself that I'm not going to collect anything past possibly Turbo. I think Turbo is where my limit's going to be. So that means I don't have Mighty Morphin. Mighty Morphin or Alien Rangers, then Zeo, and then Turbo. I might go as far as to Power Rangers in Space. I don't know, but I think because if you keep going with the lines, like if you keep collecting everything, like if you're a completist, obviously you're going to need all of them. But for me, I don't have that much real estate to display these figures, and I would hate to kind of like, bend these, because I know a lot of collectors, like the example, like with the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, they have so many figures that they literally have to tote them, and they only display what they want. I mean, that's a good problem to have, but I just don't have the space myself, and I don't want to just leave them laying around in a bin. I'm of a sound mind that if you have a figure, you should display it. Otherwise, you should just get rid of it and just sell it, and then use that to get some other figures. Same thing I did with my pops. I kind of did a little purge as well. But yeah, I love these figures. I can't believe that I was able to get these, and thank you very much for Mecca Market for giving me 2 of these. But thank you so very much, guys, and keep on cruising.